All right, this video I want to make an attempt to appeal to people's common sense, right? Because oftentimes what is the popular thing at the time is almost in direct contravention, right, to conventional wisdom. And I want to talk about the global warming scam. All right. Now, I'm not the one who foisted this onto the planet Earth, so don't get mad at me because global warming is a scam, which has been renamed to climate change. Now it's climate change, right? And of course, the nature of any climate is to change. That's what climate does. Okay? It changes. The political climate, the Earth's climate, right? The tropical climate. So I wanted to just break down very quickly that just right off the bat, there needs to be a distinction between global warming and pollution, because the two have been mixed together because of carbon, right? The carbon output into the atmosphere from industrial society. So there needs to be a distinction and a separation of the two, okay? Real environmental issues, real environmental causes, pollution, and then the global warming scam. Just do it, just try it for a couple seconds, right? Just separate the two, just entertain the idea that possibly, right, they are two separate things. And the whole thing with the carbon trading market and that type of thing, the whole idea of carbon swaps and carbon trading was the brainchild of none other than our friend over there at Enron, Kenneth Lay, right? So if that's not enough to tell you right off the bat that there's something going on here, there is obviously a different MO than just people wanting to save the fucking manatees, right? So, like I said, if you can't figure out that there's something rotten in Denmark right off the bat, then you probably just haven't even looked into it. You probably haven't done any research, okay? And I want to take two seemingly separate issues and nexus them in together because I want to try to illustrate a point. And I actually came across this article about a week ago concerning this subject. And I'm glad I waited because now it's becoming more and more apparent that it's a possibility, okay? So let me start by saying this. If you stand out in the sun, right, and I'm trying to appeal to people's conventional wisdom, okay? If you stand out in the sun for an extended amount of time, and for some people for not very much time, you get what is known as a sunburn, right? Your flesh is burned by the sun, okay? And in reality, a sunburn is essentially a radiation burn. Your flesh is being burned by radiation from the sun, all right? So we know on a personal level that the sun can affect us as individual human beings walking around on the surface of the planet. Okay, we know that for a fact from personal experience, that the sun can actually burn our fucking skin. All right, you got visible light, you got UV radiation. Radiation. All right, who would have thought that the sun had anything to do with the climate on Earth, right? Totally separate issues, right? So let's take that example and consider that climate change, right? Because climates always change, and they always have, and they always will. It is in their nature to do so. Climate change has been observed on Mars, which has its own seasons, Jupiter, and Saturn, all right, and other celestial bodies. All of these things have what in common? They just happen to be in the same solar system, right? They all revolve around the sun. Earth is not the center of the universe, neither's the sun. But these planets, including Earth, happen to revolve around it. And these planets are all within the sun's atmosphere, the heliosphere, all right? And the sun itself has its own seasons. its own weather patterns. All right? And there's different cycles, but we're talking about the solar maximum and the solar minimum here, sunspot activity. And when people try to just claim that SUVs idling en masse on the 405, obviously that's a fucking problem. You don't have to be too bright to figure out that they're polluting the atmosphere. The question is how much does carbon, right? It's all about fucking carbon, contribute to climate change on Earth? Are humans responsible? No. Do humans contribute to pollution? Absolutely. You don't have to be smart to figure that out. So I wanted to tie this in real quick, and I'm going to put the article in the description. And this has to do with Toyota. Right? Ironically, the car that was going to stop global warming may actually help to disprove it. And let me explain why. I read this about a week ago, and this has to do with Toyota. As you all know, Toyotas are having a problem, an accelerator problem, and it couldn't come at a worse time for Toyota. Right? They were the brand name, the best-selling car in America. I'm not sure what the numbers are now, but it couldn't come at a worse time for this all to be revealed. And there have been deaths involved with Toyotas accelerating out of control and crashing into things. Right? There was a family that was killed down near San Diego, and very tragic. There may be other deaths involved, but either way, it's recognized as a problem. There's been a recall. Various models. And I'm reading this, and Toyota is entertaining the idea that cosmic rays, not from the sun, right? The cosmic rays from bombarding from every direction in space, right, may actually be at least part, right, of the problem when it comes to their these accelerations, unexplained accelerations. It's already been proven that airplanes are affected by cosmic rays, cosmic radiation, right? From space, right? Who would have thought that something can come down from space and affect us on Earth? Who would have thought that? Sunburn at the fucking beach. So I wanted to tie these in together because if Toyota, right, a quality car company, they will recover, right? If Toyota is considering the idea that cosmic radiation may affect a tiny microchip in their car, causing it to malfunction, all right? And even if it's just a part of their accelerator problem, right? Do you think that maybe, just maybe, radiation from the sun and heliospheric weather patterns have something to do with the climate on Earth? Is that a possibility? And that is what I'm trying to ask. You get into a debate, you reply to these comments, and people can't even get to the most simple point. All right? And, I don't know if I can fucking help people. But the point is that humans are not the center of the universe. And that's already been proven. And ironically, right, climate deniers, which is a clear stab at labeling someone a Holocaust denier, even though there's absolutely no correlation whatsoever. Al Gore, Barry Sanders, right? A flat earther. When it's the exact opposite. It's gaining a broader worldview beyond our world, beyond the planet. All right? So I think people really need to start paying attention. In the future, scientists will look back and laugh at us, not me, right? Because I'm willing to consider other options, all right? Humans are not the cause of climate change. Do humans contribute and pollute to the atmosphere? Obviously, right? There needs to be a distinction between global warming, now called climate change, the scam that it is, right? And pollution, real legitimate environmental issues. All right, and hopefully this whole carbon trading market collapses, and there's already indications from the onset that that's probably what's going to go down. So anyway, cosmic rays are affecting microchips, possibly Toyota's causing the accelerator problem. Do you think that maybe, just possibly, that the sun has a little bit to do with the dynamics of the climate on Earth. Is that possible?